Hello everyone, my name is John Adams and welcome to Keysight's EMEA Vision. Today I'm joined by Diana Stanescu. Diana started her career in 2006 both in network protocols and development, joining Ixia as part of the QA team while having a CCNA. Now after a decade of time with Ixia, she attained positions inside project management and decided to venture out to focus in the financial and bank capital market industry, where she was able to attain positions inside digital security and fraud departments and also a chief security department. So today, Diana is going to be speaking with us about phishing and phishing more directly towards the capital and financial market vertical. One of the biggest things to understand from this conversation for most industries out there today, 93% of all hacks, although they take a long time for completion to get to the end of that hack, they always begin with some type of social engineering and mostly phishing. So we're seeing that 93% of all of our espionage is occurring through a few emails going in and waiting for a certain person to make the wrong click, or potentially now even opening the email. And Diana will speak more to us about that and what things you need to be concerned with and how Keysight can help you mitigate or at least bring out some of this information to understand, are you secure, are you safe, and will you be protected when these phishing attacks come in? Thank you, Diana. Please take it away.
Thank you, John. And we are talking about phishing, which is a very cool and hot topic these days, as phishing is the first step in most of the big organization attacks. And I'm sure all of you has a list of phishing email into your inbox. Even my mother knows what's phishing, which is surprising. But that's the funny thing. Phishing is such a common topic and in the same time such a dangerous thing, causing damages to organizations all over the world. So let me start with a small challenge for you, and I would like to ask you, how much do you think you know about phishing? For example, here are some cool facts. Phishing, did you know that there is a phishing attack every 39 seconds? Or that almost half of our emails are spam into our inboxes? Or did you thought that it's safe to click on secure links? Because that's not anymore, because more than 60% of the phishing sites are now secure sites. And if you thought that you need to be careful to emails which have an attachment or a link, make sure you don't open or click. Well, I have to tell you that now they are starting to be phishing emails which don't need an attachment or a link. They just need to email to be opened, and malware can be propagated. Therefore, would you be surprised if I would say that more than 97% of whole world population is unable to spot a sophisticated phishing attack? Well, it's true. I hope all this is showing how dangerous phishing is, and especially how much attention we should pay, and especially organizations should pay to phishing. Phishing had a huge increase, especially in the last year. Some say that the phishing attacks are up to 600%, and this is generated by pandemic and the health by changes like working from home and the increased use of personal devices. So what type of phishing attacks are we talking about? There are several types of phishing forms, like spear phishing, which is targeting certain groups within an organization, like the marketing group or IT admin group. There is whaling, which is looking to target the whales, the big fishes, like CSO, CEO, in general persons which have lots of valuable information. There are smishing or vishing using techniques like SMS or phone calls. However, the most common way of phishing is the targeted email address. Especially these days, we are talking about the targeted business email address. So what's happening in financial services? Financial services, not surprisingly, is the sector which is most targeted by phishing attacks. A report is showing that 70% of the financial institutions had at least a successful phishing attack in the last year, which is a big number. So I would say in general, especially in the last year, people became more tired, stressed, overwhelmed, because we have restrictions, we have lockdown, we have online school, and this makes them less likely to spot phishing emails. This, combined with the increased use of the phishing attacks and combined with the continuous work done by cyber criminals to enhance the phishing emails to become more believable, it's posing an even greater risk. Phishing attacks are very dangerous, not because they are happening a lot, but because before actually compromising the organization, the cyber criminals are compromising the specific phishing email, and they are using it to create a trusted relation with that organization. So before an organization would even spot the attack, the cyber criminal knows a lot about that organization, and more than this, he is being seen as a trusted entity, which is quite a dangerous thing. In financial sector, if we think of the cyber threat landscape, phishing attacks are responsible for supply chain compromise, disruptive cyber attacks, cyber ATM attacks, customer account takeover, or theft of high-value information. So lots of damages. So let me take you now a little bit through what organizations are doing or should be doing to fight against phishing. There are several approaches, and there is actually a multi-layer approach to be considered, and this starts with making it difficult for attackers to reach users. Here there are techniques like anti-spoofing controls, which are stopping email addresses being a resource for attackers, but also filtering or blocking incoming phishing email addresses. Then companies should be helping their employees to spot and report phishing emails, and this is being done through continuous education, training, and also testing of the employees. A third step to be considered, and it's a very important one actually, is that companies should be making sure that they are protecting themselves against undetected phishing attacks, which are very dangerous. And here we talk about device malware protection, but also about internal security controls, privileges, access rights, two-factor authentication. All of this meant to decrease the risk of an attacker accessing all the information in case he's able to enter somehow into this organization. And the last step to be considered is organizations should make sure they have a very accurate and well-documented incident response strategy. So now we have this list of approaches, and it would be very simple for organizations to say, okay, I know what to do, I'm having check, and I'm protected against phishing. But of course, things are not so simple, and it just takes a click of one person to compromise the organization. So what is the solution? What they should be doing to protect more and to minimize the risk of them having a huge damage caused by phishing attacks? And the answer to this is organizations should be targeting to minimize the risk of being attacked, but also minimize the damage of the attack in case they are attacked. The issue is that lots of organizations are focusing a lot on employees testing, which is good. It's a great thing because they need to be tested and they need to be helped to spot the phishing emails. However, in a similar way, all the network security controls, all the network devices should be tested equally, because the phishing attacks are dynamic, they are always changing and enhancing, and companies need to make sure that their network is also prepared and updated to respond to the latest threats there on the market. So this is where Keysight can help with our threat simulator solution, which has unique phishing and email assessments, including MITRE attacks, which are testing both endpoints and also network security controls. So how it works is that we are able to send a compromised email from threat simulator to a specific email address, and then we are able to monitor if that email was received, or maybe it was partially received and the attachment only was blocked. So this would test the initial step of is the email being blocked or not, and then we are able to see if email was opened, or we are able to actually click on the email, and in that moment the malware propagates and we can see what's happening on that workstation. The cool thing is that if you would actually log in into that email inbox, you can actually see the email coming in, and you can take the actions yourself. You can click on it, and then you can see, for example, that an application is getting installed as part of the malware propagation and what's happening further. And at the end of of the assessment, the report we are providing is not only containing the KPIs and what happened as part of this assessment, but also recommendations, which are very valuable for customers, because we can say things like you need to upgrade these specific security controls, or you need to start and block incoming email attachments, or depending on the situation, other advices. This is helping customers understand continuously how the network behaves in case of phishing attacks, if the phishing attacks were blocked, or in case they were not blocked, how the network reacts, what they need to change and update into their network all the time. And very important for customers is making them create a very accurate and tested cyber incident response strategy. And this should be maintained and updated all the time, as phishing attacks, as we know and as we've learned, are dynamic and are continuously changing. So that's all for today about phishing, and I hope you found it helpful. We have also collateral which can be shared with customers, and in the meantime, feel free to reach me for any type of questions or support I can give you. I'm more than happy to. Of course, also make sure you don't click.